Well, it's been a little while since I've done this. I'm literally sitting down. I'm like, I don't remember how to do this. But I went and made myself a cup of coffee and thought, let's just sit, let's talk like I'm at a coffee with a friend. And you know, that's kind of how I always did share with you guys on Nesting Story. And honestly, I'm so excited to be back. And I think I've said that before, and then I've disappeared before, and again. So I think it's been a year since we last spoke. And I think my last video, I'm pretty sure, was me telling you guys that Ben and I got engaged. And yes, we got married and the day was incredible. It was perfect. And I'll be sharing a lot more about that here and on the blog and Instagram, all the places. But pretty soon after getting married, life kept throwing things our way. It was a lot. It's been a lot this past year. A lot has changed. A lot has happened. A lot of, like, we've had great things. Like Ben and I, we recently bought our dream home for us and the kids, and we're moving in a few weeks. So I'm gonna be sharing that with you. I'm so excited, very close by to here, but it's everything on our checklist and we've been looking for years. So great things have happened. Holden's driving now, like he's got his G1, so I have to be in the car with him, but he's an excellent driver and just incredible things are happening. But so many events have happened that have just like really turned our world upside down. I also went into the corporate world for a while, worked for an influencer management company, and was honestly an amazing experience. And it's very cool to kind of be back on this side with that knowledge. It makes me feel so much more knowledgeable about everything. But the series of events that happened in the last year, it's given me a new why. When I started Nesting Story it started in 2013, but when I really turned it into a blog and then eventually a YouTube channel, was 2014, 2015. And my why was to connect with other moms who had twins. So I found myself, especially over this last month, this last month has been the craziest month of my life. And if you know me personally, you know that I have been through crazy things, but especially, you know, when my marriage to my kid's dad ended, it was like wild ride. Like to the point where therapists, I would tell them what happened to me and they would grip a chair and be like, I need a minute. But this takes the cake. So let's rewind before that. So October 2024, Ben and I got married. It was incredible. It was exactly what we wanted. It was like around 30 people, our friends and family. I'm so in love with Ben. He's the most incredible husband, stepdad to the kids, and I just really know that I'm with my person. And so, but soon after that, I then kind of went career focused, and there was that shift, which was a lot. And then something happened with one of the kiddos, and we're still trying to navigate if she wants to share more of her story. And as you guys would know if you follow me for a while, like I really used to share everything, but the kids got older and went total privacy. But it would be something that I share more if that's what she's expressed in the past, like she really wants to, but I really want her to kind of think that through. But one of my kids was diagnosed with a lifelong condition. And just a little high level of it, it was, you know, diagnosed through an eye doctor appointment with an optic nerve, and then the whole thing, it was very scary for a while, all the tests and everything, but it turned out that it's a condition that will cause chronic headaches and issues, and you know, medication and things can help, but it is a lot. And they've had to have 2 hospital stays, countless appointments, and it just continues on. Like we're just about to enter another season of procedures and appointments and everything. So I was thrust into this medical mom or caretaker mom position, and that was a lot. And on top of that, I have my other 3 kids, and Ben has a kiddo, and just life. So to manage that was a lot, and it's ongoing. But this is a tough kiddo, and like seriously, the toughest person I know, really. So that's something that we're still navigating, and we will be navigating. Then my health was not great. So I've talked about it before, but last fall, my migraines were getting worse, and I want to talk a lot more about aging, and I'm going to be sharing more about how I share with that stuff. But like, just as I got older, these migraines were intense that I was getting. Plus I was getting other weird stuff. So I was having these like dizzy spells and everything, like a lot of heart palpitations and lots of issues. So last fall, I can't remember if it's before or after the wedding. I have to look up photos. I think it was before. I went to the emergency room. Yes, it was before. Like a cluster migraine hit, and I went and I was like, listen, I'm having all these weird symptoms with it. I can't, my heart keeps like having heart palpitations, and I've had my thyroid out, and because of my thyroid medication that can cause that, but it felt like something was like, something's going on. So this doctor who I saw in the emergency room and prescribed a medication, which I finally got filled, and it actually works. So more on that to come about my migraines and how I've got more of a hold on them. But I had to go see a heart doctor and was diagnosed with vasovagal, which is kind of like, it can make you faint, and it's like your body is not giving the right instructions, and it can like overreact and stuff. So I just am very mindful about that. So after my kid got out of the hospital just before Christmas, kids went off to their dads for a week, and I ended up having like a really bad case of diverticulitis and back in the hospital. From that, I actually, from the pain and the vasovagal combined, actually fainted, and it was a whole thing. And I've got lots more detailed stories to tell you guys. This is very high level. So recovered from that, back to work, and went on in another hospital, stayed for that kiddo, and just kind of life just going on. And then trying to navigate career, and okay, we found our dream home, amazing, and we're really near the finish line. It feels way less stressful now, but that was a whole stressful process in itself, and I'm going to be sharing like moving vlogs and everything. I've been taking some footage, but in the spring, my dad, I'm very close to, and I've always been very private about up until recently, but he's like, share, I want you to share more. He was the chief of an emergency room doctor and chief of kind of a very high position at a hospital not too far away for many years, and very known in the community, and then became a psychotherapist, and and so healthy. So he's 76, but like you would think he's 56. Like he is the most fit person, healthy, energetic person. And we found out, he was like, thought he was choking on some peanuts, and looked in his throat and saw a lump, and he was like, this is cancer. And although we thought it was throat cancer, it turned out to be mantle cell lymphoma. So that was huge. That rocked our world. And we didn't know what this whole journey was going to be like. But the fact that he was so fit has really been on his side. And if there's anything, like I'm telling you, it didn't stop him from getting cancer, but it has made it that like his fight against cancer is incredible. And like he's able to handle everything really well. And it inspires me. Like I watch him, like I was with him all last week with his treatments, and seeing the packed lunches he brings out, the vegetables, and just the way he can, like, despite having all these treatments, like go up the stairs so easily and all these things. It's amazing. So that really inspires me to, which I'm working on now, is getting back into the rhythm of life, being fit, staying strong. But midsummer, so kind of after his first treatments, we were like noticing things, and I'm going to be a little high level right now, but I'll probably do more videos in the future. He's like very much encouraging me. Obviously we'll keep some things private, which I always do, just sensitive things, but things seemed a little off. He was like, there was just some stuff, and he seemed a little kind of manic, or hypomanic, like euphoric, and some of the drugs, the steroids that can go with the cancer treatment can happen. Anyways, long story short, it kept escalating as he had treatments, and we tried really hard to get help, and it kind of fell through the cracks, which is very upsetting, and we're kind of navigating that side of things. But he had massive mental crisis with chaos that ensued, and like to the point where one of my brothers had to fly out. It was a perfect storm, and initially in the worst way, because Ben was away for work and stuck because there was a strike, an airline strike. My one brother who lives nearby was away with his family and on a road trip far away, couldn't get back in time. My other brother couldn't fly out right away because of the strike. So I had to kind of like through the phone with them, help my mom, help everything, like be everywhere at once. And to say this whole thing has been traumatic is an understatement. And we are still trying to kind of like now, like we're on the other side. He's doing great. He's like totally mentally well. But he's also had like this life-changing experience, and also kind of like the cancer diagnosis. He's like really changed his perspective on life. So we're just trying to like catch up. It's been great and very much more in line with kind of how I feel about life. But it's been a lot, and we're now just trying to get our bearings again. And it was a lot of like a lot of extreme events and constant work, and I am obsessed with my family, like, and Ben and everybody. Like, we just came together so well, and I have 4 siblings, 2 older brothers and a younger sister, and we worked together so incredibly well through this. It was like we ran a company. Like, we made like a spreadsheet and like gave each other jobs and everything. And I think it's important to talk about this because I think that it was something like that we came through this is like, you know, we can sometimes live our lives with like contain the information, when it's like this was so out of our hands. And it was something where he was trusting the medication he was taking, and it just was out of his hands. So I have not even had time to process this one. I was with him all last week, taking him to his treatments, and my mom's kind of limited with how she can help him, and it's understandably so. She's older too. And I've been really thrust into the sandwich generation and this caretaker position. But I was with him at all his treatments last week. It was the kid's first week back at school. We've been selling the house. Like, it's just been so much going on. And yesterday I ended up still having some stress with some stuff and had a migraine, which I took the meds and it stopped, but still you lose a couple hours instead of it happening for 2 days. But today was the first day where I felt like, okay, like things are kind of calm. I'm able to, you know, do a routine. And today has felt so good, and I've been productive, but I haven't been rushing, and things have not been panicky. And I just had this thought just before filming this, and I was like fixing up my on-camera makeup, and I was thinking, like, can I sustain this? Like, is this something that can be sustained? I know my career goals and things, but like, can I work smarter and do things smarter, but not do things harder? And this is part of that move to this house. It's all tied together about, you know, Ben and I are so aligned with what we want, and we keep our world so small. We don't overschedule ourselves at all. We have a very small social circle, and we just love spending time together and with the kids and at home and cooking and budget-friendly cooking, which I'm gonna talk about too. And taking, you know, DIY and taking care of the house and gardening and all these things. So it's almost like a little compound, this new house. So outside of Nesting Story, I'm doing other things. And one of them is consulting, working with creators, businesses, brands. So most of it is coaching and helping you find your way to, I've worked with really big creators who had questions about how to format their team and what could be working with, like, what's going on with their content where it's just not landing anymore. I've worked with very small creators about what to do to monetize or to attract managers or brands. I have worked with many brands, so businesses, where we're curating their social media, their online presence. I work with a graphic designer and an amazing website creator. So we work together, and we have created some incredible websites, and I kind of bring the voice and the vision along with them, but they are great at executing that. And then in some cases I do support content creation for other creators or businesses, and I definitely love doing content calendars with creators and businesses and helping create that format, whether it's what platforms you're hitting or how you're telling your story online for creators, or the templates and things like that for businesses of how the branding templates. So all of that's still going on behind the scenes, but this is gonna be a huge piece of what I do. It's like a really strong feeling inside that I just want to connect with all of you more and share in, yeah, this next chapter and everything that's been going on. And I know that there's other people that are experiencing some of the things I'm going through, even just like the little things to the very big ones. I now have Patreon. So the fact that I have some more sensitive stuff that I share, whether it's aging or co-parenting or sandwich generation, but some of those, you know, more sensitive stories, I figure I've wanted to tell them for a long time, but I think it needs to be in a place that's a little more like a safe place. So there's going to be that kind of membership place there too. So that is either launched or developed. Go check the description to see how you can join. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you soon. Bye.